check out our new sponsor, the Health Blaze. All the information is in the description. Use the promo code above. Goodfellow One Boxing at 18% off of all their natural products, from deodorant, pomade, toothpaste, and much, much more. And they have additional discounts on their website as well. That's thehealthblaze.com. Starting December 20th. That promo code is good for 18% off. All right, man, we back. Goodfellow Sports TV. We in the building. Appreciate everybody for checking in. Make sure you hit that bell icon button, hit the subscribe button, the whole nine. All right, I ain't going back and forth about Bud and Earl at all, but it's now they creating a narrative. That Terence Crawford is ducking Kell Brook, and at the end of the day, also it's always that's what motherfuckers do when it's fear. And it's unfortunate that we treating Terence Crawford, or they treating Terence Crawford. They treating Terence Crawford like he is not of our culture or ethnic background. But when they start pulling out lies and they start it ain't even a reach at this point. You know what I'm saying? When they start lying and capping for no reason, then you already know what it is. Now it's your choice as somebody that's supposed to be an objective fan. If you're a fanboy, believe what you want to believe. I'm not knocking you. But it's your choice to be like, you know what, this didn't went too far or whatever. But, that's here nor there. I continue to talk at some point. But I can tell you, information about Kell Brook was that he was ranked number 1 by the WBO at 154 pounds. And he was in negotiation with Jaime Munguia to fight for 154. And I put it in perspective for you. Jaime Munguia didn't want to fight Jessi Vargas at 54. He wanted to fight him at 156. Because they didn't feel that he was ready for the caliber of fighter Jessi Vargas was. They wanted to get a tune-up before fighting Jessi Vargas. Now, before Jessi Vargas came out and started bumping his gums and saying that, I had already heard it. You feel me? So, Jaime Munguia team was willing to fight Kell Brook. They felt that Kell Brook wasn't as dangerous as Jessi Vargas was at 154 pounds. Now, take it for how you want to take it. If they was willing to fight Kell Brook and Jessi Vargas, and I know how a ton of you guys feel about Jessi Vargas fighting at 54, let alone at 47. Some people think he edged out Adrian Broner. I was there that night. Some people think Broner edged it out. Some people thought it was a draw. Some people thought Jessi Vargas ran away with it, who I was sitting with in the crowd. It was a lot of mixed feelings. But if Jaime is ducking, or if Jaime is willing to put Jessi Vargas aside and fight Kell Brook, that's all you need to know. And they elevated Kell Brook to number 1. Out of nowhere. They elevated him to number 1 in the WBO. They was in negotiations. And I'd probably say 24 hours, in the negotiation, probably a little bit more, Kell Brook pulled out. Kell Brook didn't want to fight Jaime Munguia for 154-pound WBO belt. Now, a ton of y'all, I know how a ton of y'all feel about Munguia. Oh, he overrated. He a garbage. And that's just the facts. If you gonna fight, and Eddie Hearn is the zone guy, he's Kell Brook promoter, so he was in position to fight for a WBO 154-pound belt. So if you ducking Jaime Munguia at 154, right? Let's do the math. If you ducking, or just look at the whole situation. If you ducking Jaime Munguia at 54, are you really want to fight Terence Crawford at 147 pounds after what he did to the guy you trying to fight, Amir Khan? Because Amir Khan quit. I didn't want to face it, but that's what it was. I had never seen Amir Khan quit. No many times he got knocked down and got knocked out. He kept coming back. But let's just keep it 100. You know what I'm saying? Which one is a winnable fight for Kell Brook? Obviously, some of us would probably believe Terence Crawford because they haters, or maybe they truly believe that. I'm not knocking you. But a ton of us would believe it will be, Jaime Munguia will be the more beatable fighter. But it's a false narrative that they started, man. And at the end of the day, I just wanted to address that false narrative out there. I know even before people saying he was ducking Kell Brook, that's the new narrative to protect Errol Spence, right? Even before they were saying that, I had heard that. I got the receipts on my phone. I had heard that from behind the scenes before they even made it a thing. And Kell Brook really don't know if he want to fight, or he want to retire, or whatever the situation may be for him. If he want to continue on, he don't know who he want to train with. He just left his old coach, went to a new coach, left the new coach, went back to Dominic Ingles, old coach. So really, it just seemed like he's still in the game to fight, Amir Khan and get the bag and KIM and keep it moving and retire. Maybe fight Khan 1-2 times, maybe a trilogy if it boiled down to it. But it's pathetic, man, that you got grown men that's making up false narrative to kind of cover up or try to make an excuse for another grown man. I'll just leave it at that. At the end of the day, the chips fall where they may fall. Have I been wrong a ton of times on here? Absolutely. When I'm picking fights, yeah, I've been wrong. Doesn't that make me create a false narrative and say, oh, if Yard had, asked for the fight in UK, he would have beat Kovalev, or the ref should have stopped it in the 8th round. No, at the end of the day, shout out to Kovalev, he did what he needed to do. I just don't understand. It's to the point where it's disgusting. It's to the point that we not dealing with 16, 17-year-old, 20-year-olds, 25. We not even dealing with motherfuckers that's 30. We talk about niggas who 35 and up, sitting here creating false narratives, sitting here, stirring the pot when ain't no gumbo, ain't no water in the pot, ain't no soup in the pot. Somebody that's sitting here, they got a vendetta because, quote unquote, Terence won't interview with black media. Who give a fuck? Who really cares? When it boils down to it, it ain't about who you like and who you don't like. When you talking about who gonna win the fight, it's who gonna win. I can like Andre Ward all day. You know what I'm saying? But if Kovalev would have won that first or second fight, come on. Oh man, you know what? Kovalev, he's a racist. He shouldn't have won because he called Adonis Stevenson monkey and he used the N-word or whatever. Still don't change the fact that he won. It don't. But just look at the downfall of the whole situation, of the whole community, home group. Just look at it. When they start lying, when they start pulling stars from the sky that ain't there, when they start puffing smoke and there ain't no fire, just look at it. You're going to be able to go back in history, in each segment block, you're going to see the downfall of this situation. You just going to see it. You're going to just see it boom, 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 boom. And I got, people coming to my page pushing this narrative, Bud ducking Kell Brook. And if you've seen Kell Brook last 2 fights, why are we even having this discussion? And I know they haven't. But when it kind of trickle over my shit, I'm done going back and forth between the nigga from Dallas and the nigga from Omaha. But I tell you from actual factual experience, that's false. It's false narrative. When people say, Bob Arum didn't want to spend the money to put on pay-per-view, exactly, it's not a pay-per-view fight. Crawford don't have pay-per-view appeal. He don't have a personality. He don't have a Mexican to help pull a pay-per-view. But we'll see how Earl and Sean do. And it may do well, it may not do well. It is what it is. But it's a shame though, man. It's a shame we get to the point where now we making up shit. Now we puffing smoke and ain't no fire. And it's a shame. It's a shame if it was a Mexican, a Puerto Rican, a United Kingdom fighter, a European, Russian, or Asian. At the end of the day, when you lie on somebody's name just to protect another motherfucker, because they see where it's going at, man. They definitely see where it's going. Because if I can see it, they can see it. At the end of the day, Earl Spence gonna have a mandatory, right? They're not gonna give him the Pacquiao fight. Pacquiao will be there September 28th. He can get the Pacquiao fight next. Probably be Danny Garcia get that fight or some shit like that. They already said he got a mandatory versus Ugis, which they could pay Ugis steps out, but he got an IBF mandatory as well. And he may drop the IBF belt and say fuck it. And or he might fight one more time. He might fight Ugis or Danny Garcia if he don't get the Mikey fight. The Mikey or the Manny Pacquiao fight, which that Mikey tweet that went out today, that's false. That page on Twitter all cap. So I really don't know where Danny direction going. I don't have no knowledge of where Danny going in his career. So I'm not gonna sit here and lie. So I don't know what's going on with Mikey and Danny, but I would figure that Danny is probably in the running for a Pacquiao fight. He was in negotiations to fight Pacquiao one time. Him and Broner was in discussion. The money wasn't right from Bob. He was shortchanging. So Danny ain't fighting Crawford on pay-per-view, I don't believe. I think he in the running for a Pacquiao fight or a Spence fight. I think they could pay. I think Spence probably would drop that IBF because they don't step aside unless he take on the mandatory, and they pay Kyrgios to step aside or tell Kyrgios you got next. So it's gonna be hard for him to maintain both of those belts. And unfortunately, I don't have no knowledge. I just know that people saying he got 2 mandatories coming. So I can't remember the guy's name in the IBF. He got a weird name. And then Kyrgios has already been mandatory, and I think Berto still got like a mandatory. And if Keith Thurman want it, he can jump everybody, which we know he don't want it. So it may come down to a situation where Earl might fight one more time at welterweight if he don't get Pacquiao, or if that hope gone. And I think he'll move up and fight the winner of Hurd, Charlo, Harrison, and J-Rock. You know, because those two type of fights, Charlo and Harrison 2, and Hurd and Williams 2, they gonna fight next for the 3 belts in the for the 3 belts they got on that side of the street. So what I'm thinking is that Errol Spence is gonna fight a couple more times. If he get Pacquiao, he don't. Maybe Danny, maybe defend the mandatory. Then I think he jump up to 154 pounds, right? I think he jumps up. He challenged them for 3 belts, and then he makes his way for Canelo, and maybe Crawford jump up and uses WBO Super Champion. And this is just a strictly hypothetical, okay? I'm thinking he jumps up, uses Super WBO Champion, and maybe I think it's more realistic that you get Crawford and Spence, and this is the last time I'm gonna speak on this, at 154 for Undisputed. I think it's realistic. I think Crawford might end up having to go through Adames because he ranked high in Hyman Guida. This is his last fight at 54 versus Patrick Day, I think it is. So let's Patrick Day win, and then it's a totally different situation. But Adames still is the #1 fighter, but that's fickle with change. So I think you got a better chance of seeing Spencer Crawford at 154 for Undisputed, but it really boiled down to see what the IBF and the WBC do with Terence Crawford with Errol Spence mandatories. The thing that keep it safe is if you fight Pacquiao and the IBF say you got to fight old boy, he'll drop the belt. If you fight Kyrgios and the IBF say you got to drop the belt because they don't step aside money, then he drop the belt. But he might fight old boy in the IBF and come back and do a quick turnaround and then fight Kyrgios, and they just, tell Kyrgios to be patient. You can fight on the Spencer undercard, and that might be his last fight if Pacquiao refused to fight him at 47, setting him up for a late big unification bout with the winner of those 4 junior middleweights that's gonna have the 3 belts, which I can't call it right now, but those, and then he'll go up to 54, and then I think it's more realistic that him and Crawford do 154 pound Undisputed, just the way it's playing out. But you see how the mandatories work. But it's just no point in getting like sweating, getting angry, yelling. I yell when Yard and Kovalev fought. Lions in the camp, like that's the type of emotion that joyous emotion that you want to show in the fight. Discussing this shit, but when people start making up shit and they start, that's real hatred. Hatred is confused admiration, like Nas said, Nas say. He says hatred is confused admiration. That's what it is. They see Bud as a threat, and that just confirms he's more of a threat. Now they got to start lying on him. Now they got to start doing whatever. He already getting cooked. Let's just talk about how he getting cooked on December 14th. Real talk. Let's just talk about how he getting cooked. He getting cooked. Juan Estrada fighting December 14th too, versus Kell Jaffe on his own. Not only that, Tony Harrison and Charlo 2 is going to be on the J-Rock Hurd 2 card in December 14th. On top of that, ESPN game banging him on top of his head. They doing UFC Emmanuel Nunes card December 14th. So not only is he competing with the Zone, he competing against his own network and ESPN. He competing against Fox. He competing against the UFC. So he competing with 4 different cards. On top of that, NBA and probably NFL regular season flex games. So Terence Crawford already getting cooked. So I ain't with kicking the brother because he died. If he don't want to interview and you reach out and ask him a question, like if anybody had a personal vendetta against him, it should be me. When you seen documents saying defamation of character because the video I did, Come on, man. That's whack, right? Instead of coming at me personally, like, you know what I'm saying? And then if you say something on like I said one day, 2 years ago, and I open up about it now because I got time. A couple years ago, I was like, you know, I don't know about Terence Crawford 10 or something like that. He got to prove, you know, prove it on, you know, Facebook, or, you know, I just want to see more since Broner, I was saying, because Broner, he duped me. Dude blocked me over that shit. You know what I'm saying, on Facebook, because I said, you know, I had my questions about him. You feel me? So at the end of the day, it ain't personal. It's just boxing. If it's personal, then, you know, he threw a cup of piss in your face, then I definitely feel it. But just because it gets to the point where it's personal because he don't want to talk to you, you know what I'm saying? Or he don't want to interview, so be it. So be it. It's not his obligation to speak to us, you know, YouTubers or old media. It's not his obligation. It's not nowhere in the Top Rank contract. It's nowhere in PBC contract that they want to speak to you, don't speak to you, you know? And it's cool. It's fine with me. I'm not in the interview field. I'm thinking about getting back into it. I've done interviews. But to me, it doesn't hurt my feelings because I'm a man. You know, you deal with rejection, but if somebody had a personal gripe with him, real talk, if somebody had a personal gripe with him, who better off than me? You know what I'm saying? Everything I told you, who better off than be with me? But I'm not holding that against him because I just want to see the best fight the best. And from a schematic standpoint, I think he is the best he can be the best at welterweight. I think he could. From a, you know, jab and X's and O's standpoint, I think he could be the best in the division. You know, but it's to the point where, you know, niggas is sensitive like Ross Transvent. But when you start making up lies, you niggas start making up lies, man, y'all, it's just gonna decline from here. You know what I'm saying? The foundation is already busted. Y'all about to be the leaning tower of pizza, whatever it's called. But this time, this motherfucker ain't leaning. It's slowly tipping all the way over, and it's going to crumble. You know what I'm saying? It's going to crumble. Now, ain't nothing y'all can do about it. It's out of hand. This just speeding up the process. We laughing at you niggas behind the scenes. That's partaking in this shit. We laughing at you, dog. Cause don't know real niggas respect that shit, bro. Real niggas don't respect niggas lying when they ain't gotta lie. When people lie, they fear something. You know what I'm saying? See, put it to you this way, right? Let me roll. Put it to you this way, right? And I'm just keeping it all the way 100. Put it to you this way. You tell a girl, you like, yeah, baby, what's going on? Like, Kawhi, what's going on, baby? Hey, I wanna, what's going on? You look kind of good. Blase, blah, blase, blah, blase, blah. And she like, well, you know, I ain't really feeling you. You know, some girls might test you like that. Like, I ain't really feeling you like that, or you ain't my type, or I got a boyfriend. And then, you know what I'm saying? You might be walking the mall as a teenager or whatever, right? You might be like, man, fuck you, old dusty ass hoe. You know what I'm saying? Now, she might have been testing you. You might have walked back around and she might have been like, you know what? I was just seeing what you was going to do. But now all of a sudden, by you going ahead and destroying that bridge, you show who you really is. So now, you went from at least, you know, if she was just trying to test you, you at least had a 10% chance, 20% chance. Maybe even more. She might have liked you. You might have had a 99.9% chance. But by you showing your immaturity, you feel me? Now you don't have a chance. So I say that to say this. Now that these dudes been saying they actually want to do an interview and stuff, don't start bad mouthing the dude because he don't want to do an interview. Maybe he want to see how y'all gonna act. Maybe he want to see like, hey, let me see if they gonna react if I say no. And you not y'all, oh, F him, he ain't this, he ain't that, you know, oh, you know, Earl gonna steamroll him because, you know, we don't like him, he don't speak to us. And he might have been like, shit, I was gonna speak to him. You know what I'm saying? He probably like, I was gonna speak to him, but since they showed me their hand, like, no. But like I said before, to end it off, man, Scotty from World Combat Sports, he had an interview with Terence Crawford. So this uneducated aura or narrative that he don't interview with black media, he interviewed with Scotty. Scotty a good brother. Y'all check his channel out, World Combat Sports. Scotty a real good brother, man. Fuck with him. I see him rise, him come up. Fuck with him. Like I said, I may not always comment on people's stuff, but I respect good content, and I respect well-rounded brothers, dog. That's one thing that ain't gonna change. I might not like what you saying, but hey, I can respect it because, you know, I see the different, you know, I see different sides of the pendulum, you know what I'm saying? But y'all know what it is, man. Goodfellas Sports TV. Don't forget to check out our sponsor, The Hellblaze, at thehellblaze.com. Promo code Goodfella1Boxing. Get you 18% off the 100% all natural products. Check them out. Website, promo code, description. Don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Reach out to the email if you have a business question, inquiry, sponsorship, video request. Keep sharing the videos. Y'all know the business is one time. Y'all just share it for your boy. Share the video, man. Get it to your favorite hating ass, Terence Crawford hating ass person, man. We gone.